Hello StarCraft fans, this is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Railgan and maGe on Orbital Shipyard. This is from the previous patch, and it's not from the latest, but I hope you'll forgive me because this is a ZVP featuring Railgan. He only sends me the best replays, and his replays consistently get more than average views in YouTube, so this should be an excellent game. Railgan saying, I managed to beat a Sky Toss. Hey, that's good to see. I wonder if that's something maGe is going to try to do, or if that was just a mind game, right? To make maGe think, oh, this Zerg can beat Sky Toss. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe Railgan isn't going to make this happen. All right, in the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard, we have the red Zerg player. It is Railgan. And in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have the blue Protoss player. It is maGe. So again, Railgan has been submitting replays to my channel for a very long time. He is a scholar and a gentleman and a super nice guy. And at GM level, Zerg is just something I really love to see on the channel. He submits to me both wins and losses, epic games, regardless of the outcome, which is just so great. So that you can know pretty much it's going to be a good game, and that's about it. There are no spoilers here at all. 15, 16, 17 hatch coming out for Railgan. I think it was a 17 hatch. Really waiting on the spawning pool as well. Just playing that macro. Really relying on his micro to save him from anything crazy the Protoss player might do. Again, not scouting, sending out overlords, but they can't scout anything. 3 hatch! 3 hatch for Railgan before spawning pool, before extractor. Man, this is so scary. But again, I've seen it happen. I've seen Zerg players manage to pull this off against Protoss. Protoss is still getting the gateway. There's no forge. There's nothing crazy coming. Railgan, I don't know how he knows that. There's the spawning pool finally here at the 1 minute and 40-second mark, which is an eternity in Legacy of the Void. I know if you've been watching a lot of HOTS, a lot of Wings of Liberty back in the day, that's kind of nuts to say that. But that early worker count that you get, Railgan saying, please don't scout me. But no, here comes the probe. Scouting things out. Did the probe see? No, the probe didn't see anything yet. Too late, says maGe. I'm going to scout you out and see your hatchery. Bah ha 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 ha. Railgan throwing out an expletive. Goodness, Railgan language. This is a family-friendly channel. Probe scouting around saying, alright, there's a spawning pool. Seems a little bit late. maGe is a good player because maGe is GM. But pushing out again, I think maGe might check for a third based on what he saw there. And yes, does check for the third, sees it and says, oh man, Railgan's going for a 3 hatch play here. Very early indeed. maGe has to be thinking of a way to punish this. But I don't know that he really can. I mean, at this point, getting Warp Gate Research, getting an Adept. Again, this is Adepts before they were nerfed, so they do have that extra shield ability, that extra shield, like 90, or whatever it is. We'll have to see what it is when this pops out. So it makes them a lot better, but I don't think a single Adept is really going to be enough to kill Railgan. Railgan, you'll notice, is getting Spine Crawlers in the mineral lines of all 3 of his bases. Railgan has really struggled against Mass Adept, and so I feel like he's happy about the nerf, but again, this was before the nerf, so Mass Adept wrecking his day is still really a big possibility. And here comes the Adept, but it's a defensive Adept, I think. No, I was proven wrong again. This is an offensive Adept, coming on out to kill workers, to kill Zerglings, to kill everything it possibly can. Railgan, again, has the Spine Crawlers in good position, but I feel like maGe is going to be able to find some good angles to attack with Adepts to kill workers if there aren't any Queens or any Lings to actually get out there, non-static defense, rather, to get out there and try to kill this guy. Or this gal, because Adepts are female. They are female Protoss. So moving on out, not using Psionic Transfer to get across the map. That's kind of surprising for maGe. Usually the Protoss players will do that just to scout things out. And here comes a pylon. Is it an offensive Photon Overcharge play? It could be. I don't know if the range on this is enough to actually kill anything, but here comes the Adept trying to kill stuff. But guess what? There's a spine taking pokes to the face. Is this Adept with the 90-90 though? Actually not doing. Oh, stands in and just dies. No big deal. 2 drones did end up killed. There's the Photon Overcharge going on down. Still enough energy for 3 more Photon Overcharges. But again, it's not really in range of anything. The creep prevented that from happening. Overlord here scouting everything that's going on over here. Does see the Robo Bay. Does see the Warp Prism coming out. I hope Railgan was paying attention there, because that could be a problem. Here's the 16-second warp in because the pylon is not touching a gateway, or rather a warp gate or a nexus. The Queen really wants to kill that pylon so bad. There's a Roach Warren just about to complete here for Railgan. And Photon Overcharge popping up, as well as the Adepts. That might be enough to kill this Queen. The Spine Crawler trying to save everything, but 3 Adepts is much different from 1. Just going after workers, not really worrying about that additional damage. The Queen gets an inject off there. 1 Adept does end up dead. The Spine Crawler has a single kill now. Warp Prism trying to come around the backside while Railgan is paying attention to the front side. Another Photon Overcharge shot going across on those Queens and maybe getting a Transfuse off. Not enough for a Transfuse available, but all the Adepts do finally end up dead. And here comes the Warp Prism warping in Adepts. It's very, very quick because they are coming from a Warp Prism. Spine here as well, though. Railgan's ability to prepare for what is coming has been really, really working out well for him. Good micro, though, picking up the Warp Prism. Or picking up the Adept with the Warp Prism before it dies. Well played indeed. Taking shots from the Queen. Moving back down on here. The Queen injecting. And then probably should go back to kill that Warp Prism. And indeed she does. Warp Prism is now out of shields. Taking hull damage. Photon Overcharge again. Coming up. These roaches are very not happy about this at all. Just getting killed by this Photon Overcharge. And drones being killed at the same time. More and more roaches popping on up though. This is a lot of roaches available. Fighting at the Photon Overcharged pylon. I'm not sure if it's a good decision or not, but indeed the roaches should be able to clean up the remaining Adept. Instead, they're focused on this pylon dying. The pylon does have 5 kills. 5 kill pylon, MVP pylon for sure. Throwing down a creep tumor is Railgun to prevent that from ever happening again. But again, this Overlord being right here is very, very nice. This is getting a full scout. It reminds me of an observer sitting in a Zerg base and just being completely unobserved. Haha, because it's invisible. Finally, the Stalkers warp in and do manage to kill it. Overlord did get a lot of useful information, though. 3 gateways coming up. A 3rd base is here on the way for maGe. So his harassment allowed him to pretty much catch up to Railgan. 55 workers each. 86, 84 to 80 total supply in favor of Railgan. And let's see here. Or in favor, yep, of Railgan. Resources lost for Railgan is 1356 and 100 gas. It's 1300 minerals and 250 gas for maGe. So fairly even there, but a lot of workers have died. 18 total workers have died for our friend Railgan. Not a good position at all. Knocking down this debris are the roaches, and that attack sound is missing. Oh. It was there for a minute, wasn't it? Am I going crazy? Taking a 4th base is Railgun. Considering he took his 3rd base at like sub 2 minutes, this feels like a late 4th. But again, he was under harassment for a long time. And there comes the first Disruptor. Okay, ZVP is often decided by Disruptor hits. If you haven't seen Disruptors before, I'll take a look at them a little bit more closely. Here comes a push with Stalkers and Immortals. A good composition against pure Roach. Just because these guys do extra damage versus armored. 50 damage, and Roaches are armored. They don't have a lot of hit points either. They basically 3-shot Roaches, which is crazy. Ravagers. Ravagers as well could be fairly good against what we're seeing here. Mothership Core coming out in case they need a quick recall. This is the recall ability. Mass recall teleports the Mothership Core and all nearby units owned by the player to the targeted nexus. So Disruptor's here, and let's follow this guy too. Disruptor does not have a basic attack, has 1 armor, has no shields, but has Purification Nova, a cooldown of 21, but it shoots out a ball of energy that lasts 2 seconds and emits a powerful Nova, dealing 145 splash damage and an additional 55 shield damage to nearby ground units and structures. The Disruptor is immobile while this is active. So basically, to deal with Disruptors, the best way I've seen that happen was from a player named Zephyr against Walnut. But basically, he used the Viper to come in and yank the Disruptor into a Roach Hydra Ball and kill it. So it was a little bit nuts. Queen gets killed immediately. Blink Stalkers coming in with mischief on their minds. Murder on their minds. The Immortals as well. Here comes the Disruptor using Purification Nova on top of what? On top of a big ball of Roaches and Hydras. More and more Hydras and Ravagers coming in at the same time. This Immortal on the front line dies. There's the recall as all the Corrosive Bile hits there. A couple Stalkers get left behind. One manages to live with the Blink. And this is the Ravager. It is an upgraded version of the Roach. The attack speed is better, 1.14 versus 1.43, so a 20% upgrade, I believe, is what it is. But they have this Corrosive Bile ability. It launches a missile at the target location, dealing 60 damage to all units in the area upon impact. It's not my favorite ability, but it's good against things that are stationary. So, for example, Liberators in Defender mode, it's really good against that. Good against Warp Prisms that are in Warp mode. What else? Good against Siege Tanks that can't move. Good against Widow Mines that can't move. But here comes some Dark Templar, some Stalkers, some Immortals, a Disruptor, pushing on in for maGe. Wow, there's a Warp Prism coming around the backside. Is there an Overseer? There is an Overseer here. And the Dark Templar get the heck out recognizing that's not a good place to be. Corrosive Bile misses everything as usual. Here comes the Warp in, though. Oh, there's a Spore Crawler. Can the Spore Crawler kill the Warp Prism before it gets out of there? And the answer is no. It does manage to get out. Stalkers at the wrong place, wrong time. Oh no, Mage, pay attention to your Stalkers. No! Oh, so many Stalkers dying left and right there. All the Adepts are going to get cleaned up by these Hydras. Hydras do pretty darn well against Adepts, despite the fact that Adepts do extra damage to light, which is what Hydralisks are. It's just they attack so quickly and hit so hard that Adepts just really don't stand a chance. So pushing on in again, there is a Lurker Den, so we get some Lurkers here for Railgun at the same time. A couple Disruptors, and here comes the Purification Nova, and getting a couple on the front line, but good dodge there overall. I think from Railgun, moving forward, stutter stepping into this army for Mage, taking a lot of shots. Time Warp being thrown down, another Immortal falls. Corrosive Bile actually taking out its Stalker there. Well played indeed by Railgun. Backing out, trying to stay on the creep, trying to attack on the creep, having a pretty good concave. Both players looking as well. Corrosive Bile killing another Stalker. One or two there, blinking on top of this base. The Disruptor shots are good, looking good. Purification Nova hits one. Another Disruptor died before it could actually get that completion. Well played there by Railgun. Absolutely. Stalkers dying left and right, trying to blink on home. Mothership Core is not around to help them recall, so they need to run for their lives. These Archons do not want to deal with this. Either it's +1/+1 attack for these units, more Disruptors, and a Hive on the way for Railgun, as well as more and more Roaches with the +2/+2 being researched. So I don't know if they want to go up that ramp. Corrosive Bile again missing entirely because they're pretty much weak. More Hydras show up there and more Roaches. So I kind of like it. Warp Prism trying to come on in here again, warp in some more units. And yep, there's that 2-second warp for Zealots. Oh, Zealots are so good. The Roaches are going to try to kite them as best they can. I'm not sure what the Roach's target is, or the Zealot's target is. Oh, they're going after the Lurker Den. I don't think that's going to happen, though. The Spine plus these Roaches is going to be enough to kill every single one of these Zealots before they really even get the Lurker Den too low. I mean, they're getting some shots off here. They do have, what, +1 attack. So they're good, but not great. Actually, they're taking the Lurker Den down into the red. I am super surprised. I did not see that happening at all. Some Adepts get warped in at the same time. Try to go into this mineral line. Going after the Spine Crawler as well, using Sonic Transfer to get back into the natural here. And they do. They finish, but again, the Spine Crawler doing a great job with one total kill. The Roaches getting most of the glory there, but finally the Adepts end up dead. 30 drones have died, though, for Railgun, and he is tied 66 to 66 with the Protoss player. Protoss has another base here, and another base coming up for Railgun, though. That's a 5th. So 4 base to 5 base, essentially. Railgun doing a good job staying up on his Protoss opponent. Pretty good creep spread as well. Could be better. Could be better for Railgun, but you know what? I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been under a lot of pressure throughout most of this game, and getting a Viper. There we go. So Vipers using their abduct ability on those Disruptors can be pretty good. We'll have to see. +2/+2 has finished, just making these Roaches, these Hydras, these Ravagers, and Lurkers just that much better. Another warp on the Dark Templars get the Lurker Den. Excellent, excellent play indeed. And are they going to get the Spore Crawler? No! Don't get the Spore Crawler. Well played. And the Warp Prism falls to the Hydralisks. A small Roach hit squad running around trying to kill something. I'm not sure what their plan is. And they go right up to the 3rd base. And what's the answer going to be? Worker kills. It's going to be worker kills. Going after probes. The probes try to run, but a bunch of them dying pretty darn quickly anyway. They can't get down this way because of the debris. And individual probes are falling. Their bodies are being scattered onto the ground. 13 probes have died in total. Where's the army? The army's just going for it here. They're not worried about those Roaches. That is very surprising indeed. Lurkers doing all right. Oh, Purification Nova killing a ton of Ravagers and Hydras, really evening the scores there. The Hydralisks, the Roaches standing on in. Stalkers don't do a great job against that composition. They really need the support from the Disruptors. And here come the Roaches after doing their mischief here at the 3rd base, taking some shots, but regrouping with the rest of the army. Railgun is up 145 to 139 total supply, but not doing as well at this point. This is looking really good. Disruptors with so many kills. 4 kills, 6 kills, 2 kills, 0 kills on that Disruptor. You're a disgrace to Disruptors. There's a pair of Lurkers here. Ultralisk Den on the way. I don't know if Ultras is the way you want to go. Drone trying to transfer actually gives away this base. Poor drone, but the question is Mage trapped in here now? Purification Nova on top of everything. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no, standing in again. Railgun refuses to leave. Corrosive Bile being thrown down on everything. That Disruptor got a ton of kills with that Purification Nova. And again, just getting a great concave with these Stalkers. The Stalkers do have +2 ground upgrades. Pushing, though, is Railgun. trying to make this work. The cooldown again is 21 seconds, not even dodging at all. Hydra is getting killed in mass. 11 kills on that Disruptor, but still pushing his Railgun. He refuses to be demoralized. Trying to go after Disruptors before Purification Nova can go off, and he does get one. Excellent play indeed. Disruptor's trying to return home, but getting chased down by roaches, and they all end up dead. So Railgun took a lot of casualties there, but he is up 152 to 82 total supply. More Disruptors being made. Another robo facility to create even more and more Disruptors. maGe is trying to make this work. Resources lost tab shows 13,000 minerals lost for Railgun, 6,400 gas. maGe says, why is playing Toss so hard, man? maGe has lost 16,000 minerals and 7,000 gas. So it has lost more, surprisingly. I don't think Railgun really wants to agree with that there. Pushing up Spore Crawlers and Spine Crawlers. There is a Spore here trying to deal with these incoming DTs, but I don't think there's enough to actually handle this. This base is in a lot of trouble. These transferring drones, the question is, the DTs, what are they going to go after, right? And yep, going right after these drones. The Spine Crawlers are nowhere near finished. That Spore Crawler is up. Overseer being morphed at the same time. The army coming to try to deal with this, but this is a drone massacre. So many drones are dying. That has 6 kills, and all the DTs are cleaned up, but resources lost, units lost. 42 drones have died for Railgun. Just a terrible, terrible experience for workers in this particular game. And another base up here, so that is the 5th base for maGe. Again, totally mined out in the main, so you can't really count that as a base anymore. Same here. Wow, really, really mined out in the natural base at the same time. Here come the Ultras. They don't have any attack upgrades, but they do have +2 upgrades on their armor, their Carapace, which gives them 3 because they start with 1 naturally. Here comes the push. 3 Overseers, Roaches with +2/+2, Ravagers with +2/+2, Ultras with +2/+0? I don't know about this. Transferring Lings actually make the Stalkers back up just a little bit. That was kind of funny. The Lings aren't really a threat to you guys because you have good upgrades and they do not, but actually going to try to kill this base. The cannons finish. A lot of Lings are going to die, but they don't care. They are going for it, man. And immediately every single cannon ends up dead there as well. Lurkers are burrowing at the backside, trying to prevent anything from saving it. maGe is killing this base in retaliation, killing individual Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers. And the question is, does Railgun want to push or does he want to save his base? I think he wants to save his base. He's running. He is sending Lings. He is getting Adrenal Glands to allow the Zerglings to attack faster. And he is also getting Chitinous Plating to give more armor to his Ultras. We're basically in a base race scenario here. And Disruptor being killed by Ling, that's not something you see every single day. Purification Nova does get off before the Disruptor dies, killing so many Ravagers. Anyway, Robo Facility falling, Gateway falling to these Ultras, Ravagers being morphed in mass, the army pulling back for maGe. I don't know if I expected to see that. But Ling's slowly whittling away at the Stalker count. Very surprising indeed here. The Ultras really need to be in the front. Let the Ravagers do the damage from behind. Gold base being taken by Railgun. Don't see that a lot. Ling's a pretty good answer here to this number of Stalkers. Lings do a great job against Stalkers if they have the numbers. Purification Nova, dodge with attack. 2 kills, 5 kills on the Disruptors. Pretty low on health. Pushing on in other Ravagers. They want to kill stuff before the Purification Nova is available. Again, and the Corrosive Bile actually I think did kill a Ravager there. 1 shot. Killing another one at the back. Unfortunately, triple corrosive or triple photon overcharge going down. The Stalkers in the front. Purification Nova on top of Ravagers again. Bodies falling left and right. Lurker burrowing there. Nope, ending up dead. Unfortunately, maGe taking casualties. Railgun as well, but I think Railgun has a handle on this. There are not only a few Stalkers left. It's 129 to 51 total supply. If this mining base goes down for maGe, he is in a lot of trouble because this is pretty much all that's left. And yes, that's it. maGe calls the well played is defeated. Railgun is victorious. So, all right, there we go with another great ZVP from Railgun. Just fantastic play. Thanks so much for submitting them. I need to get some from him on the latest patch. Because, again, I know he plays quite a bit. He has some amazing stuff for me. I'll keep harassing him until we get more stuff for the channel. So, thank you so much for watching. Stick around and listen to the music on the end slate today. That's my anti-spoiler thing at the end, if you've seen it. Usually it's just silent, but now there's some music thanks to a subscriber. So, give that a listen. Go to the SoundCloud address on the screen as well. Check out more of his stuff. And, yeah, this has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.